bit about where the concept of books to go comes from and the research behind it. I want to talk now a little bit more about how libraries present their books. The biggest problem in libraries, we know, is we've just got too many books to choose from. And I don't want to say have fewer books, because I love books, it's great to have the choice. But it is difficult to browse. This is very typical library. How the hell do you pick anything out of that? No, you really do have to know what you're looking for. If you know what you're looking for, it's fine. You just go along and you know there's all those riches there. But if you don't have a clue, that's not very friendly. This is a pretty old-fashioned library in the UK, and we call this one Browser's Neck. Browser's Neck, because she's tilted her head to the side here, because she's trying to read the spines as she's going along, like this. It's actually quite difficult to maintain that pose for very long, okay? You can't do it. And to go down to the lower ones, she's going to have to go down like this, while still keeping her head, you know. There is a physicality to choosing books as well. Paco O'Neill's very good on this. You need to think about how you make things choosable. This is, I hope you can see that one, this is one of my favourite library photos. This is a library we did up, and these people were just in it by accident, and they have the classic library pose, okay? So let's start with this guy over here. He's got Browser's Neck, yeah, and in order to balance, he's put his hand on his hip, because that makes it slightly easier, okay? You can tell how long people are going to stay by the way they plant their feet. And his feet are slightly apart, that's quite useful, you know, he's going to stay a little bit, okay? But where are his hands? One's on his hip, and the other's in his pocket. Very typical male. It's in his pocket here, okay? So he's going along, just look at my body. I've got hand on hip here, in the pocket here, head to one side. How am I going to get a book? Am I going to grab it with my teeth? Am I going to knock it off with my head? No way, until my hands come out. You've not got it, okay? This is the classic library pose. Go back to your libraries and watch. Because this is fascinating. 2 meters away, two yards away. Here's a young woman, different age, different gender, and her pose is not dissimilar. Let's start with the head. Now, she's not got Browser's Neck. She's actually looking face forward because she's seen those face forward books. Yes! So she can actually look comfortably. That's great. Her feet are a little bit more poised. Look at the giveaway of the feet. She's on the balls of her feet. I'm not staying that long. I'm about to go. Yeah? And then look at her hands. Behind her back. Again. There are so many people. Well. Go on.
She was taught well.
She was taught well. Thank you. She was. But there are so many people in libraries going through like this. I'm just looking. I'm just looking. I haven't seen everything yet. I might. And then how do you get them to get their hands out? That's where the furniture needs to help. And you're thinking. This is one from a library in Denmark, the Central Library in Copenhagen. And they sent it me because they've just done a lovely reader-to-reader promotion, which is on that little stand there. They wanted me to see it. But what I was interested in was this woman in front. Because look at her. Her head has turned. She has seen this display. Can you see? Yes, I'm interested. But has her body turned? No. She's just turned her head. So the problem is, she's walking along like this. I need to do it sideways. She's walking along like this. She's turned like a soldier. Yeah? How long did she do that for? Paco O'Neill calls this walking like an Egyptian. That's what she's doing. And look how fast she's going. Her hands are out, but I think it's because she's swinging. Yeah? So she's seen that display, just that little thing in blue there, and her brain has registered it, and she thinks, oh, that's interesting. By the time she decides to stop, where will she be? You've all done your driving test, you know, the braking distance. If she thinks to brake, she's going to be there. Yep. She'll go past it. And when you've gone past something, do you ever turn around and go back? Not often. Nope. We spent the entire training session in the afternoon reorganising the whole shelving layout so that when somebody came off the escalator, which is where this is just opposite, they would hit this display at the right speed, at the right angle, and then they would take something. And that's what you have to look at. Here's the classic tabletop display in library. If we don't stack them, then what we do is have little single book stands, okay, which all fall over, especially as soon as anybody takes one. And the problem is you can't see the books at the back, and there's no height to it. So then we have to make our graphics on the back, and they're always homemade, and they are a bit painful, I'm sorry. But cool readings, you know, I'm not sure that's cool for any age, let alone the age it's kind of intended for. The book covers are so cool, you don't need to do that. We have to stop librarians around the world thinking they can do things with pink ribbon. Please, can we just get back to the book cover speaking directly? But one of the reasons why you end up doing that is because of all the blank space, yeah? Which isn't filled with books. In a bookstore, be filled with books. So that's where, again, I'm saying a different approach is going to work better than that. This is another typical sort of thing. The problem is I can't see the book covers at all in this. So it's not tempting me. The thing that's much bigger is the sign. The sign should never be bigger than the product. The product needs to have more space. And as for these, I mean, this is caged books as far as I'm concerned. You know, how to make the books look the least attractive as possible. These things, you know, you never see these in bookstores. Libraries, you've been sold some duds for a long time, I tell you. I've got to be careful what I say here. But, you know, that is not a nice thing. How's it nice to look at, nice to touch, nice to choose? No, it's not. Nor's that much better. That's not wire, at least it's plastic, but it's all crammed in. You know, it's just, that's what we do in our libraries. We have to make a space that's nicer than